My name is Heru Lewis. I'm the executive director of Heru Urban Farming and Garden. We are an organic farm. We grow a lot of specialty crops such as watermelon, tomatoes, cantaloupe, leafy greens, Asian greens, herbs, you name it, we probably grow it. So I do a series of workshops. Today, I'm going to talk about how to set up your drip irrigation. There's various ways to do it, but I'm going to show you the way that I do it and how we're going to set it up today at the farm. So materials you need, all right? The first thing you need, I kind of set up already. And this is a main line right here. I call it main line, right? And what I mean by main line, and I got some notes, your main line want to be 3/4. My main line is 3/4 of an inch, right? So 3/4 inch main line. That's this white tube right here. That's my main line that I hook up. And your main line connects to your water source, right? So your water source could be a hose, a spout, whatever you hooking it to. Your main line goes to that, right? And at the end, I'll show you what it looks like on the main line and everything like that, right? So, all right, we got a main line and we got drip tape. So the drip tape comes on a little spindle thing. So it's a drip tape, and my drip tape is actually at 5/8. So the drip tape's at 5/8. My main line is at 3/4 of an inch, right? You need rebar if you're doing it by yourself. The reason why I say you need this rebar because I'm doing this by myself. So I don't have another person to help me with my drip tape or my lines, anything like that. So I'm going to establish this rebar in the ground. I'm going to put it right here, like so. And all I'm doing is slipping it through these holes so it can help me spin. And you'll see why I need this like this. All right. So that's on that. And you'll see why, because this helped me roll this out without no help. So that's why I need this on a spindle. So that's important to do. If not, it's kind of difficult doing it without that because you need to rotate and all that good stuff. So we got drip tape, we got main line, and other thing you need is I get all these materials from either Drip Depot or Drip Works Irrigation, right? And that's where I got these materials from. All right. Then I got I call this my, connectors, drip line connectors. So this is a bag of drip line connectors, right? This attaches to the main line that goes into the drip tape, right? I call it drip line connector. That might be a proper name to it. But there's two different varieties I got. This one has a control valve for it, and this one doesn't. So that's the difference between these two. So control valve means if I want water to flow, I'll have it like this. If I don't want the flow, I'll cut off so you can control which beds you get water to. All right, I don't have that many of these left, so I just got the regular ones with this. When you cut the water on, it's gonna go to every bed because there's no valve to shut it off or shut it on. So that's what that is. Another tool you need something to punch a hole in your main line. So this is a hole puncher right here. It's different varieties you can get. I like this one because it's easier. You don't have to put too much torque in your elbow or nothing like that. It just simply poke it and it go in. So that's why I like this variety better. And like I said, you get this from Drip Depot or Drip Works Irrigation as well, right? All right. Now, one more thing I do want to add. Well, I'll do at the end, right? I'm going to tell you what you put on the end of your main line and the front end and the end of your main line, right? So I'm going to start this bed. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to put drip line on the bed, and I'm preparing it because I'm actually going to make another tomato bed in this bed, but I'm going to get my irrigation set first on it as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is make my hole in my main line. All right. You probably have to get a little closer on this one. So it's two things you want to look out for when you putting a hole in your main line. First and foremost, when I grip this, I want to put my 2 fingers across it and press. Why I'm doing that? I'm doing that because I want to get a grip on it while I'm putting the hole. Also, I want to make sure I don't poke this too hard where I'm going to go out the back, where you go out the back of this. So I want to stay in the front. So, all right, I'm going to grip this like this and poke my hole in it like this. Bam, easy as so. So that's the hole. After that hole, I'm going to put my first drip connector in it. Now, it's going to go in this side first, right, where you got the little bracket there to, to support it. So this end goes in first, just like so. I'm going to make 2 because I want 2 drip lines on this bed. So I'm going to put another one over here. Same thing, I'm squeezing it and I'm poking it through. Yep, just like that. Sometimes you hear a pop, sometimes you don't. Taking this in, again, I'm putting it there. There go the pop, boom, right there. So I got 2 of my connectors already connected, right? I failed to mention the other tools you need. You need some type of stakes or staples to hold the drip tape line, because if there's no water going through, the wind will blow your line and it'll blow it everywhere. So you want to kind of keep it in place. So that's why I got stakes. Now, there's always a question I get from people: what side should I put it on? So these mitters right here is where the water come out. It's like every foot is mitters on here. That what's water your beds. Every foot is a mitter. Now, it's a question. Some people sit it up or you want to turn it down. I turn it down because that's the fastest way the water can get to it, in my opinion. But some people set it up top and water's still going to hit it, but it's not directly touching the soil, it's rolling over. So, like I said, we're going to do this face down though, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to walk this down all the way to the end. Yeah, walk that down. Also, the other tool you need is a knife or a box cutter. This is my favorite tool. It's a knife. I can cut zip ties with this. It's a planter as well. So this is my all-purpose tool that I use. So, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this drip tape. Now, when you cut in the drip tape, never cut where the mitters are at. So the mitters right here, I'm not gonna cut on top of the mitter, because that's tough. It'd be harder to cut through, and you usually want to mess up the part your water come out of. So I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna cut right there, just like that, right? So next step, I'm connecting it to the drip connector. So it's a little twist part right here, right? I'm gonna make sure it's rolled all the way down, like that. Once it's rolled down, I'm gonna take this, open this up. Now sometimes if I wanna get open, this is just me. You ain't gotta do what I do, but I'll blow on her too and make it pop open. But you ain't gotta do that either. You can just slide it on. And I slide it on like that, and then I'm twisting this to make it twist up, and it's tight, and I check it and pull on it, and I see it's secure, right? Now, I'm gonna take me a couple of stakes and walk down that way. Well, I'll do the stakes on the back end. I'll wait till that. But I'm gonna show you how I do the end too as well. So I take this down, and usually as I walk it down, I kind of grab it and make sure it's in the line. All right. Okay. Now, at the end, I'm gonna make a cut. All right. Now, at the end, you gotta seal it off so the water won't shoot out, right? So I use what I got. I don't buy nothing extra to cap it off or nothing like that. This is what I do. I take my back end, I cut off a piece. I'm taking this, I'm folding it once, and then I'm bending it. Just like that, right? One fold, then bend. Then I take this end, that bend end, and I slip it through this end that I cut off. Once I do that, it's shut off. So no water is gonna come out of there since I did that, right? Then my next step is give me some stakes. Now, to save money and save stakes, you don't have to put a stake every just all over there. You just want to put enough down so the wind won't manipulate it and move it around. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk down and I'm gonna start coaching it. Now, I'm going straight because I'm putting tomatoes in this bed and I already got onions in there. So ideally you want to do this when you got nothing in the bed, but these are my companion plants and I had collards in there previously, and now I'm coming back with tomatoes. And tomatoes is also a good companion plant with onions as well. So I'm gonna leave it in the same bed. But I am gonna walk all the way down and just stake as I walk down. And be careful when you staking that you don't puncture the drip tape. I done did it before. I had workers that did it before. So just take your time and just don't be jamming it in there because you can puncture a hole in your drip tape. I'm just getting these onions out the way as I manipulate it on down. Yep, and that's line one. Now I start the other one. Now I'm putting two lines in one bed just because this is like what I like to do, especially when dealing with stuff that like a lot of water. So I do that. But you can also put one down. Also, I also failed to mention, you gotta make sure your PSI at the minimum of 15. PSI is just the pressure that comes out of your water source. It gotta be at least 15 PSI for it to operate properly. Yep. And some people PSI is strong. So your PSI might end up being, if your PSI is over 30 or something like that, the pressure might blow the drip tape off. So you have to get some type of something to come in and take away the PSI, or like a pressure reducer or something like that. Same thing on this other row. I'm doing the same thing as I did to that side. I'm just walking it on down. Yep. Much easier than not having, you didn't have that on that rebar, you'll be fighting with this all the way down. Now, I like leaving a little room at the end so I can do what I gotta do to it and cut it off and all that stuff. I'm just gonna let it flop down. My cut. All right, come down this back end and cut this end. So I shut off. Again, we at the end. Gotta make a shut off. So I'm gonna cut this. Fold that. Then fold it back, then fold it in half. Like that. Take this in again. Fold it over. Just like that. Straighten it out. So like you said, man, you can do irrigation by yourself. You don't need two people. If you got other person, that's great. But if you don't, you can see if you can do it yourself. No problem. All right, all the way out the back end. All right, drip tape, there you go. Oh, it is two more things I do want to show you for the main line before we stop. So this is everything you need to do when you're putting down your drip tape. We went over the size you need for the main line and the drip tape. Went over the tools you need, how to make your hose, how to stretch it out. So the only thing I left out is the main line. So in the main line, like I said, the main line is 3/4 of an inch, right? So it's the end piece you need that's down here on this end. So you notice this same line is feeding other beds as well. You see it's feeding the tomatoes right here as well. With tomatoes, I don't like watering over top. I don't like letting it have wet leaves. So that's why I like drip line at the base, so the water can just get to the roots. Now, it is an end piece that you need to cap off this 3/4 inch main line. And you get the same piece. I call it a shut off. And basically, same thing I did here. I basically put this on there, put it on the end, made it tight. I really want to loosen it back up because I got it tight. But basically, it's just a screw off, take it off, or you put it on and screw it on tight. That's all you're doing. I got it on there real tight, so I don't even want to mess with it. But yep, that's it. That's the main line shut off. Now let's look at the top end so we can see what piece you need for the top end. Yep. So the top end is where you put the hose and connect it to. Ooh, I'm glad I checked this. I need a different top end. So this is how the top end looks, right? You put that on the top end. Now, I'm glad I checked this because I'm missing something right here, I think. And I'm finna test it actually. So I'm finna test this now. Clean out my hose. They had dirt in it, so you don't want to clog out nothing. And in fact, I'm finna flush it out to make sure it's not clogged. So I'm cutting the water on to make sure it's not clogged up. All right, there we go. It was clogged. There we go. See, I knew it was clogged. There we go. All right, so I unclogged that. All right, let's turn her on. So always check and make sure that you hooked it up right. Let's see. So I hooked it up. Time to cut the water on. Now let's walk down and see. Okay, I hear it. It's coming on down. Let's see. I hear it. And we're off. So far so good. I don't see no nothing busting out the ends. The water's coming out, as you can see. See, it's dripping. So it's coming out. Now let's check the end to make sure no water's flushing out the end. Okay, the back end's holding up. Yeah, no water's coming out. So it looks like everything's functioning well. And there we go. And that's how you hook up some drip tape irrigation. Yep, there you go. Thank you for joining me.